They're extremely scary. Arguably the best team in the NFC. Take record out of it, what they can provide on the football field offensively and defensively. But sticking to the offensive side of the ball, you're looking at a team that is without their number one guy in Davante Adams. He's been sidelined, and it hasn't stopped them or hindered them one bit. And it's all due to Aaron Rodgers. And I got to give Matt LaFleur a lot of credit because he's allowed what I've seen, and Aaron Rodgers, who has always been predicated on hero ball and it being on his shoulders to make plays. And we saw that yesterday, him making plays and it being about him throwing the ball. But he started to learn how to become patient, literally throw the ball down to his checkdowns and just methodically move the ball, which is something that is scary because it was always something that defenses posed a threat on Aaron Rodgers. Just force him to throw things underneath, and he is getting it done.
But, Greg, wasn't he that way when you guys were at your best before he went into hero ball? Because when he first started, to me, he played the game the way you wanted. He could make the spectacular throws, but he would take any throw on the field. It seemed like over the last 4 years, he tried to put everything on his shoulders because he didn't have support. So for me, he's getting back to his fundamentals. I'm going to read it out. I know I can be a hero, but the more he throws on timing, the more efficient, especially with these unknown receivers.
So one of the things, to your point, that he had early in his career was a lot of guys, myself, James Jones, Jordy Nelson, Randall Cobb, Donald Driver, who were able to make plays with the ball in their hands right away. So it supplemented for a lack of a run game. And so now with Aaron Jones, you have a run game. You have that support. He doesn't have to always look for the quick hit receivers. He has a guy who can come out of the backfield, catch the ball, turn around, hand the ball off to him, and then guys who can just get open and run routes. And Matt LaFleur is doing a great job of running that offense.
Aaron Rodgers played from the quarterback position a near perfect game yesterday. He did have the perfect quarterback rating, and the drives were usually when you score as many points as the Packers did, you're set up with a few short fields. That's not what happened. Packers touchdown drives 75, 82, 80, 78, 85, and 80. They drove the length of the field every single time. And to your guys' point about him being patient, they all were at least 5 plays, 6 plays, 11 plays, 7 plays, 8 plays, until the very last one, the kill shot with Marquez Valdez-Scantling, when he hit him for 74 yards on the 3rd play of the drive. But the most impressive thing is something that you mentioned, I think, before the segment even started, which is you are doing this without Davante Adams. Yesterday, you completed passes to 8 people, 4 wide receivers, a tight end, 2 running backs, and a fullback. He threw one of those touchdown passes to Aaron Jones. I mean, Aaron Jones adjusted in the end zone. He finds him there.
Yeah, same play they missed last week. They ran the same play again. He was able to connect with him this week.
And so when Rodgers is developing some trust with Geronimo Allison, he already, I think, had trust with Marquez Valdez-Scantling. And Jimmy Graham popped for one of his first really good games as a Packer, which is something we've been waiting a couple of years for. When Davante gets back, that they have already given themselves this, I don't want to say margin of error because the Vikings are only a game behind them, but they are off to such a good start. I believe the defense is going to continue to be excellent. This looks like a Super Bowl team to me because it looks like right now they know exactly who they are, and there aren't a lot of weaknesses aside from the overall running game on the roster.
So you see, a week and a half ago, we brought up the conversation topic of MVP, and there were 2 names. It was Russell Wilson, it was Patrick Mahomes. 10 days later, everything's really turned and changed. Is Aaron Rodgers now in that conversation for MVP?
Anytime you have the quarterback of a team that potentially is going to be the team that wins the most games in the league, you have to consider him. And then you take into consideration who is that quarterback, and that being Aaron Rodgers. But you got to have some games like that to be able to get back into the conversation. He had to make an adjustment with Matt LaFleur, the new offense being less dependent upon him. I think the injuries to Davante Adams, and Davante Adams is not out of the woods yet. That turf toe, it can be a problem. They're not an elite team without him, regardless of what you saw last night on the field. And I do believe that the injury to Davante Adams is going to be a blessing in disguise because I don't think Aaron Rodgers If he didn't have an extended time with this young group of receivers, he would have developed that chemistry. Because Aaron Rodgers is not that kind of guy. He'll give you chances in practice. But he had had enough things happen in the game with these young receivers to be like, I'm not going to throw to them. Last week, off the guy's face mask, guys falling down, not being dependable where they're going to be. So this time with Adams being out, I believe it helps galvanize that offense because now I got film of guys being successful, winning one-on-one matchups, and you can see with a running game and a defense, I can dictate to the defense, you better put 7 people in the box. And what do? One-on-one route outside, individual, he runs it, takes it to the house. So to me, the injury could be the biggest blessing in disguise for Aaron Rodgers, developing confidence in these younger players.
Yeah, you're 100% right. It's not only developing confidence in Aaron Rodgers, it's developing the confidence of these young receivers.
Sure.
When you look at them and getting the opportunity and the experience with a guy like Aaron Rodgers, depending on them to make plays, and then you step up and make plays. I remember my first early years with Brett Favre. You just wanted an opportunity to make a play. You wanted an opportunity to show your quarterback that I got you. If you need me, I'm here. And that's what these young guys are doing, and it's special. And let's give credit to the offensive line because they are protecting Aaron Rodgers and keeping his jersey clean.
And you know Aaron better than anyone on this set. I'm curious what you think about how, because we know he hears just about everything, how the conversation landed with him that over the last month it's been like, who's the most talented quarterback in football? Well, that's Patrick Mahomes. Who's the greatest of all time? Well, we know that's Tom Brady. Who's the best quarterback in the NFC? Who's the MVP right now? Well, that's Russell Wilson. All of a sudden, he didn't have a place to plant his flag on as far as reminding everyone, I'm Aaron bleeping Rodgers. And I felt like yesterday's game was an opportunity for him to do that, and he took it because he's not a guy without an ego. I think that's fair to say. And he still has as much arm talent as any quarterback we've ever seen in the history of football.
Yeah, he definitely has as much arm talent. And when I watch him in all these other quarterbacks, he has definitely not taken a step back. I think we sometimes become enamored with what's next and what's new with Patrick Mahomes and the Lamar Jacksons and all these new faces that are doing some great things. But Aaron Rodgers, for the first time in his career, he's not been asked to do everything. Yeah. And that's what's been most impressive. So he doesn't even, he should have an ear to it and listen and watch. That's what he's going to always do. But step back, continue to do what you do. Trust the system because what Matt LaFleur is doing has been special. And I watched him after the game, and he gave the game ball to Aaron Rodgers. And you just see the dynamic. Everyone is enjoying themselves. He's having a good time. Matt LaFleur is having a good time. When you're having fun, the game is that much easier.
It's also nice to see Aaron Rodgers fully healthy and what he's capable of doing when he has no nagging injuries, which we haven't seen a lot of in the last couple seasons. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from First Things First, or go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.